Welcome to Wolves Gaming. Today we're starting a brand new journey in Roblox called Raft Tycoon. Right now, all we have is a very small raft in the middle of the ocean. No big base, no strong setup, just open water and survival. The goal is simple: turn this small raft into a floating empire. In this game, we need to collect resources, expand our raft, upgrade our systems, and slowly build something powerful on the water. But at the same time, we also need to stay alert, because the ocean is not safe. Sharks are always nearby, and danger can come anytime. This is what makes Raft Tycoon special. It's not just about building. It's about surviving while building. At the start, everything feels slow. Resources are limited, space is small. Progress feels simple, but this stage is important. Every empire starts from something small. Every big build needs a strong foundation. You can already imagine how this tiny raft will change over time. More platforms, more structures, more upgrades, more control. This part is about setting the base of our floating world, learning how the game works, understanding the mechanics, and preparing for bigger expansion. For now, we stay calm, we build smart, and we survive. This is where the flow. Now that we understand how the raft works, it's time to start expanding. This is where the raft slowly stops feeling like a small platform and starts feeling like a base. Every new tile we add gives more space to build. More space means more possibilities. More possibilities mean faster growth. Collecting resources becomes the main focus here. Wood, materials, and upgrades are the backbone of everything. The smoother the resource flow, the stronger the raft becomes. You can feel how the game starts opening up at this stage. The movement feels easier. The building feels more flexible. And the progress feels more real. This is where planning starts to matter. Where should we expand first? What should we upgrade first? How do we balance space and safety? The raft is no longer just something we stand on. It's becoming our home in the middle of the ocean. We're still early in the journey, but now we have direction. This is the stage where growth truly begins. Now that the raft has some space and a steady flow of resources, it's time to focus on upgrades. This is where the raft starts feeling safer and more organized. Upgrades are not just about speed, they're about stability. Better systems mean less struggle. Less struggle means more control. You can see how each upgrade changes the way the raft works. Things become smoother. Movement becomes easier. Progress becomes more reliable. This stage is important because it turns the raft from a temporary setup into a real base. Something that can grow, something that can survive longer. We're slowly building confidence here. Instead of reacting to problems, we start preventing them. The ocean still feels dangerous, but now we're more prepared. We're not just floating anymore. We're building something that belongs to us. This is the moment where the raft starts to feel powerful. Now, this is where the ocean reminds us that we're not alone. The sharks start feeling closer, more aggressive, more real. Until now, we were mostly focused on building and upgrading. But this stage teaches something important. Survival is just as important as growth. You can feel the tension increase. Every time we move around the raft, every time we collect resources, there's always that thought, what if the shark attacks right now? This changes how we play. We become more careful, more aware of our surroundings, more strategic with movement. The raft is getting stronger, but danger is growing too. And that balance is what makes this game exciting. This part is about respect for the environment. The ocean is beautiful, but it's not safe. We can't rush. We can't relax too much. Now we're not just builders. We're survivors building in hostile territory. The floating empire is growing, but it has to be protected. Now that the raft is bigger and safer, it's time to make it more organized. This part is about turning chaos into structure. At the beginning, everything was placed wherever there was space. Now we start thinking properly. Where should storage go? Where should upgrades stay? How can we move easily around the raft? This is where the raft starts feeling like a real base, not just a floating platform, but a planned settlement on water. You can see how organization makes everything smoother. Collecting resources becomes faster. Upgrading feels easier, and movement feels clean and controlled. This stage is important because growth without order creates problems later, but growth with planning creates stability. The raft now feels prepared for bigger expansion, prepared for danger, prepared for discovery. We're not just surviving anymore. We're building a floating system that works. Now the raft feels completely different from how it started. What was once small and fragile is now wide, stable, and confident. This is the stage where you can truly see the transformation. Every new expansion adds power, more space to build, more room for upgrades, more control over the ocean. You can feel how comfortable movement has become. There's no fear of falling, no stress about space. Everything feels open and ready for growth. This is where the raft starts looking like a real floating base. Not a survival raft anymore, but a platform for building something big. The ocean still surrounds us, the sharks are still there, but the mindset changes. We're no longer thinking, can we survive? Now we're thinking, how big can we build? This part is about confidence. Confidence in the base. Confidence in progress. Confidence in control. The floating empire is no longer a dream. It's starting to look real. Now the raft feels stable. Not just big, not just strong, but reliable. This is the stage where everything we've built starts working together smoothly. Resource collection feels natural. Upgrades feel easier. Movement around the raft feels controlled and calm. You can tell that this base is no longer temporary. It's ready for long-term survival. It's ready for exploration. This is the moment where the game shifts from build and protect to build and discover. We're not just staying in one place anymore. We're preparing to move forward. The raft now has space, structure, safety, and efficiency. That combination is what allows real adventure to begin. This part is important because it's the bridge between building and exploration. Before discovering new areas, you need a strong home base. And now we finally have that. The ocean no longer feels like a threat. It feels like a path. And in the next part, we'll take that path towards something new. A place beyond open water. A place full of new possibilities. Now that the raft is stable and organized, this is the stage where our mindset changes. We are no longer just building to survive. We are building to explore. Everything we've created so far is preparation. The space, the structure, the upgrades, the safety, all of it exists so we can move forward without fear. You can feel that the raft is ready to travel. It feels strong enough to support long journeys. It feels prepared to face new environments. This is where Raft Tycoon becomes more than a building game. It becomes an adventure. We start thinking beyond the ocean around us. What's out there? What resources can we find? What new dangers will we face? The raft is no longer our limit. It is our vehicle to discovery. This moment is important because it marks a shift from defense to curiosity, from survival to exploration. The floating empire is ready to leave its comfort zone. This is where we pause for now. What started as a tiny raft in the middle of the ocean has slowly turned into a strong and organized floating base. We've expanded the space, we've built structure, we've learned how to survive, and we've created a foundation that can support much bigger things. This part was about building confidence on the sea, about proving that even in an open and dangerous environment, we can create something stable and powerful. But this is only the beginning. In the next part, we're going to take a huge step forward. We won't just stay on the raft anymore, we'll explore something new. The tropical island, new resources, new challenges, new opportunities. That's where the real adventure begins. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support Wolves Gaming. And comment below, would you rather stay on the raft? Now, before we move forward into unknown areas, this is the moment to make sure everything is ready. Exploration is exciting, but preparation is what makes it safe. We check our resources. We make sure storage is organized. We confirm upgrades are working properly. We make sure the raft is balanced and strong. This part is about responsibility. When you travel into new zones, mistakes can be costly. So this is where smart players slow down and think. You can feel how professional the base has become. Nothing feels rushed. Nothing feels messy. Everything feels planned. The raft now looks like a real exploration platform. Not just a base, not just a home, but a mobile command center on the sea. This is where confidence turns into readiness. We are no longer hoping things go well. We are preparing to make them go well. The ocean is wide. The dangers are real. But the raft is ready. And when preparation is complete, the journey becomes powerful. Now, this is the moment where the raft stops feeling like a project and starts feeling like an empire. When you look at it now, you don't see a small survival base anymore. You see power, you see structure, you see confidence. Everything has a purpose. Every expansion was planned. Every upgrade made the raft stronger and smarter. This is what a floating empire looks like. Not just big in size, but strong in design. Not just safe, but prepared for the future. You can feel how far we've come from the beginning. From a tiny wooden platform to a massive organized base on open water. The ocean hasn't changed. The danger hasn't disappeared. But we have changed. We're no longer surviving. We're controlling our environment. This part is about pride in progress, about respecting the journey, about understanding what patient building can create. This raft is no longer temporary. It's permanent. It's powerful. It's ready for anything that comes next. Now you can really feel how smooth everything has become. Movement across the raft feels easy. There's no hesitation, no confusion, no tight spaces. Everything flows naturally. This part shows how much control we've gained. At the beginning, even walking on the raft felt risky. Now it feels stable, wide, and secure. You can move freely, manage resources quickly, and build without pressure. That's the sign of a strong base, not just size, but comfort. The ocean around us still feels massive, but the raft doesn't feel small anymore. It holds its space confidently. It feels like it belongs here. This stage shows maturity in the build, not rushed growth, not messy expansion, but controlled development. You can sense that this raft is ready for anything, whether it's longer travel, heavier danger, or new environments. This isn't survival anymore. This is ownership of the sea. The raft is no longer something we're protecting. It's something that protects us. Now the raft doesn't feel like a fixed place anymore. It feels like a moving base. A mobile home that can travel, explore, and adapt. This is an important shift. Earlier, the raft was something we stayed on. Now, it's something we use to move forward. You can imagine how this base can reach new zones, new islands, and new opportunities. It's not limited by the ocean anymore. It's empowered by it. Every upgrade we made was preparing for this moment. The space, the stability, the organization, all of it turns the raft into a vehicle of progress. This part shows how powerful preparation is. When your base is strong, the world feels open. Not dangerous, not overwhelming, just full of potential. The raft now feels like a ship of exploration, a floating command center, a platform for discovery. We're not just surviving on water. We're navigating our future on it. This is where we pause for now. What started as a tiny raft in the middle of the ocean has grown into a powerful floating empire. Step by step, we built space, structure, safety, and confidence. The transformation is real, and it shows how far patience and smart building can take us. At the beginning, everything felt uncertain. Limited space, limited resources, and danger all around. But now, the raft feels strong. It feels organized. It feels ready for anything the ocean throws at us. This wasn't just about expanding wooden platforms. It was about building control, about creating stability in a place that is naturally dangerous, about turning survival into dominance. Every upgrade mattered. Every expansion shaped the future. And every decision helped this raft become what it is today. This is not just a base anymore. This is a floating empire, a mobile fortress, a platform for exploration and discovery. And the best part? We're only getting started. In the next part, everything changes again. We move beyond open water. We step into a new environment, a place full of new resources, new dangers, and new possibilities. The tropical island is waiting. That's where the next chapter begins. New builds, new strategies, and a completely different kind of challenge. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the series grow. Share this with anyone who loves survival and tycoon-style games. Your support brings more people into the Wolves gaming community. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Because the story doesn't end here, it evolves. Drop a comment below and tell me, what was your favorite part of building the raft? The early survival stage? The big expansions? Or turning it into a full floating empire? And also tell me, are you more excited for exploring the tropical island or for expanding the raft even further? Stay tuned for the next part. The ocean still has secrets. The journey is far,